Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, playing more Historic Brawl. This time around, have a Selesnya deck for you. Calix, Destiny's Hand. Now, I don't want to talk about the whole deck, but I do want to hit on the three main strategies that are being implemented with this deck. Now, when somebody's playing Calix, that, of course, means enchantments. And when I think of enchantments, I always think of two things. Landfall and tokens. So we have a whole bunch of things going on with those two strategies. And, of course, Planeswalkers are pretty awesome in Selesnya. They work really well with very wide creature-heavy boards, so I have a heavy helping of Planeswalkers to help support our main two strategies. Gonna hop into a few games, hope it works out well. I have a feeling this deck is gonna do a lot of silly stuff, so I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. See you over in the games. Alright, time for some Calix in Historic Brawl. I've been playing this deck all week, tuning it here and there, having just a lot of fun with it. Once it gets going and you get out some of those big enchantments, of course, fun stuff is going to happen. And then tokens. Who doesn't love playing with tokens? Opening hand, yeah, looks fine. A little bit of protection. It's not going to be too relevant right now, but maybe later on, especially against a Korvold deck, they're going to have a lot of removal that could get pretty annoying. Let's lead out on this, I suppose. I don't think I need to hold up the swords, but yeah. Outside of protection, got some pretty good removal. In fact, I might be hitting that Llanowar Elf because it's probably better to get rid of that now. Yeah. Llanowar Elf, I don't want them accelerating into some big thing on turn 4. Jadar, sure. It's pretty annoying. Love the art on this Jadar. Didn't get it myself. Alright. I don't like putting out the Sanctum Weaver, but I think it's necessary to get it out on the field and hopefully start generating some extra mana next turn if I can get a couple of enchantments onto the field. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be long for this world, though. So they get in for 2 with the Decayed Zombie. Not the worst. That's fine. Korvold seems like a pretty powerful commander. Got to imagine they're going to do a lot of annoying, unfair things. There is the Contempt. Ouch. Okay, Garruk is not terrible. I'll put that on the field, make a 2/2 beast, and hopefully they don't have a way of dealing with this beast, because if they do, then they can get a pretty clean kill on the Garruk. If they can't, then the beast sticking around is pretty cool. However, now I don't necessarily want... No, I'll block. Yeah, of course I'm blocking. Not a big deal. Find the land. Now, do I want to... I kind of want to get rid of this Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil is going to be brutal, and I think next turn Korvold's going to be coming down, so I don't really want them pinging things too much. So, probably it's going to be Banishing Light. Hit the Devil. -2 on the Garruk, make another 3/3 Beast. And just kind of play defense a little bit. They're going to probably play out Korvold this turn, sacrificing... Oh, no. Well, that's fine. Their own Garruk is not the biggest problem. Although that Garruk is a little bit better than my Garruk. May as well attack, right? This does give trample. So I might be able to hit their Garruk pretty well this turn. More lands? Sure. So I'm going to make this a 6/6 beast, and then I think I go after Big Boy here. Okay. So 2 damage in on Garruk. They lose their 2 wolves. That's fine. Of course, he gets those back. I want to save the cast out for Korvold. Korvold's going to be a bigger problem than this Garruk, I think. Do I just want to play out... I think I just want to play out the Calix, though. Start getting this up. You know what? That's a pretty awesome draw, because now I'm going to be slowing down their Korvold. Okay. Don't hate that. They are kind of running out of cards as well. Sure. So Korvold costs 7. Oh, they actually have the mana to cast him. I thought it was one off. Not a big deal. Get to draw a card here, and they've used all their mana, so certainly next turn will be the cast out for Korvold, and then it will cost 7 again. Okay. Ooh, Hotly, not too bad. So I guess I'm just going to start off with this nice and easy. Hit their commander, which they'll be able to cast again next turn. Seal Away is very cool. That means that their Korvold won't be able to attack very easily at all. And then same plan, try to get rid of... Not get rid of. There's no way I'm getting rid of Garrick. He's going to be huge for a while. In fact, it's just they're going to do the same thing. Double block and get both of the loyalty counters back. Still, keeping it in check is probably going to be good enough. I think I'll put out the Anointer Priest. I'm gonna call this Anointed Priest so many times. Just wait for that. Get out the Anointer Priest. They're going to waste their whole turn putting out Korvold again. I'm pretty certain of that. You cannot run or hide. Black Market instead. So Black Market is pretty annoying, but I can actually get rid of it with the -3 here. So Black Market, if you're unfamiliar, whenever a creature dies, you put a charge counter on Black Market, and then at the beginning of their pre-combat main phase, they get to do a bunch of stuff. Finale of Devastation is going to be pretty good later on. So how do I want to play this? It's got to be getting rid of Black Market, I think. I want to keep Korvold under, or not Korvold, Garrick under control, so I'm going to keep on this plan. I don't know, maybe it's not worth doing it like this. Okay. Definitely have to get rid of the Black Market this turn, or this time around. Yeah. So Black Market goes under the cast out. And then I think I'm putting Hotly onto the field. Hotly is going to be pretty cool because I'm going to do this, getting her up to 8. And then next turn, if they can't deal with the Hotly, I get this emblem. And every time a creature enters the battlefield under my control, doesn't matter, token or otherwise, going to be getting a card. And that kind of card draw is probably going to help me win this game. They decide to go with the Simulacrum. Surprised I haven't put out Korvold yet. Nice. Treasure Map. One of my favorite cards. One of the reasons another deck I was messing around with that I'll probably put out a video for, Tezzeret. I wanted to play Treasure Map, so I decided to play Tezzeret. Okay, they run the Decayed Zombie into me once again. Why not? Okay, so do I go with the Hotly thing this time, or do I actually just pump her up even more so I don't lose her? I think the best thing to do is go see what I can get under Calix first, or with Calix. Both of those are so good. Oh, now I got a decision to make. Mirari, it's got to be Mirari's Wake, right? Yeah, it's got to be Mirari's Wake. As much as I love the Cathar's Crusade, just one of my favorite cards, I have to go this way. They have the Simulacrum now, so things are getting a little bit harder to block. It'll be a 7/7. They could kill it, and they're not going to kill it, though. Okay. Out of our way. This Garruk never going down. Scry to the top. Scary. Are they going to put Jadar under it too? That'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? No. Okay. So this beast has just been wrecking things. However, now Garruk's up to 6. So that's not cool. I actually kind of want to keep Huatli around. I think I'm going to do the greedy thing. Get Huatli up to 13. I really don't see them getting that off the field unless they get some direct removal for it, but they'll probably want to use that on, well, who knows. I honestly thought that was a lot higher, so now creatures... All right, hang on. Things have gotten a little bit dicier. Wow, Garruk's thing's only 1 higher, huh? I guess... I see. My bad on that one. I definitely thought it was -8, not -6. And I may have made a poor judgment call on that one. Still, I think things are probably in my favor. With this Mirari's Wake, tons of mana coming to me next turn. Okay. I think I just put the plant in front of that so I can keep the Garruk around. Yeah. Sure. Get out of here. May have made a mistake somewhere with things. It's fine. It's probably fine. So first things first, I want to get this emblem. This emblem is going to be important. I think it's good that if they have an emblem, I also get an emblem. It's only fair. Calix misses. That's not the coolest thing. So I could start loading up the board. Yeah, I think that's fine. Unfortunately, this is enchantments, and I don't really have too many enchantments. If I get... Now, do I use the Teferi's Protection? I was thinking I want to use Teferi's Protection to save things. Yeah, fine. Teferi's Protection. This Archon is going to be very valuable. That was a really loud sound effect. Okay. So this is to the start of my next turn. I'm not going to be taking any damage. And I still don't have an enchantment outside of the Seal Away. I don't want to use the Seal Away too quickly. Hopefully, Calix can find something. But they got to play out the Korvold soon, right? Use it, eat the zombie, make another zombie. Why not? They scryed to the top. I don't particularly like that. Okay. So Korvold's on the field. It's going to get hit by this Fateful Absence. I'm surprised they did that. I don't know why you wouldn't just hit this zombie, because Jadar would make another one anyways, and this is not doing any damage to me. Yeah. No big deal. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you get the extra draw with Korvold. Ooh. Okay, let's start off with the kill on Korvold. Maybe I was a little hasty. Maybe I should have led with Scythus. It's a lot of card draw. Okay. Okay, so Scythus is going to enter the battlefield, draw a card from Huatli, also going to give me a 2/2. Draw a card, draw lots of cards, more cards. Oh, Scurry Oak. Awesome. Yeah, let's go see what Calix gives me. Sure.
Clothis, show me my path.
Sure. Gotta be a little bit careful now. I'm running out of mana. Ooh, Anointed Procession. Okay.
I like to think big.
From the will of many, the might of one.
Okay, that's a pretty good attacker. Let's get in. Not quite lethal. I wonder if I could have hit lethal. I wasn't really thinking I was going to have that much damage going on them. But, yeah. May as well play it out. And now it's up to them to have... You know, they have a lot of cards now, so... But, I mean, they're not going to be able to get rid of all these enchantments. And if they want to go after my planeswalkers, they're definitely going to have to wipe the board. That could be a bad thing. I wonder if I missed lethal. I bet I missed lethal there. I could have probably Finale of Devastation just for X something and just slammed over them. So if I do lose this one's definitely on me. My fault. Still, I'm having fun. That's the one thing that I have noticed about me playing this deck is I kind of just get into my own head doing all the cool stuff with all the enchantments, and then I definitely don't play optimally because it's like, ooh, Sigarda's Splendor, I want to play that out on the field. Ooh, the what is it called? Archon of Sun's Grace, I want to play that and make a whole bunch of Pegasus. Maybe not the best way to play the deck. Still, gotta concede, so we won. Next one. So that first one was 17 minutes long. Getting the feeling that I might not be doing 8 games with this particular deck because these might be long games. This deck definitely grinds. This is a little sketchy. Both opening hands were not great. Lots of high value enchantments here, but I want to keep this mostly because of the Mirari's Wake. This card is just absolutely bonkers. It's crazy in EDH. It's crazy in this as well. All right, so I miss. What is the opponent up to? Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord, pretty neat. Vampire Commander, and then Sorcerer's Wand. Not what I was expecting. I guess I could put the Scoot Swarm onto the field, but I feel like it's just too vulnerable. I want to save the Scoot Swarm for later on in the game. They have the cool Vampire lands. Good on you, opponent. Missing, but I do get to slow down their Bloodlord. This card's just obnoxious. I don't particularly like playing Curse of Silence, but it is such a good card to be playing in Historic Brawl. It's kind of hard not to play it, but it is pretty lame. Okay, well, the good news is I do get to get rid of Sorin, and all they did was 1 damage to me. Very cool. So now I get the Sigarda's Splendor on the field, and this thing is going to hopefully start drawing me cards. Of course they'd have Fracture. I am playing an enchantment deck after all. Yeah. Still, if I hit a land here, things would have been really cool. I didn't hit the land, obviously. You know what? I should have put out Calix. That was a mistake. I was a little bit too hasty on the Gilded Goose to the field. And Yawgmoth is a big problem. I can get rid of Yawgmoth with Calix. I can put it underneath the food. But I can't... Yeah, I can do that, I guess. Ooh. How bad is the Yawgmoth? Maybe it's just better to get the Mirari's Wake onto the field. And hope that they've used their two big... Of course, this doesn't hit the Mirari's Wake, but Fractures, enchantment removal. They can't have too much enchantment removal going forward. The opponent's a good game to me, too. Not nice. Not nice. I wonder, do they have like a combo here? Man, losing that really hurt. Get Vivian onto the field. This doesn't feel good. Vivian's not going to hit anything here.
I've seen things that would break
Oh,
someone like
okay. Should have grabbed the other source, I think. The green source. It'll be fine. Okay, they're going to take... Oh, they're going to kill Vivian. Unless I block with the Gilded Goose. Which is probably worth the block here.
Now we're getting started.
And Scoot Swarms can start doing silly things. If I find... I was thinking if I found... What's it called? The one that gets me 2 lands. It could have been cool. Cultivate. That's the card I wanted to find. Alright. So Scooty to the field. And then follow up with a Lair of the Hydra, I suppose. Make 2 Scoots. Or 1 Scoot. But now I have 2 Swarms. So they're going to need something big to get this off the field. I don't know. Going to be tricky. Opponent's deck is really unusual. Okay. Was this to anything or only damage to target player or planeswalker? I see. Okay, they are gaining a fair amount of life because of this Bloodlord.
Not again.
Please leave my Scoot Swarms alone. That's all I ask. Oh, yeah, I always forget that they have Yawgmoth, and Yawgmoth can do things that I absolutely hate. Uh-oh. That's not good. Now I'm thinking I should just wipe the board. As much as that hurts me. Yawgmoth is going to be brutal. Alright. It's a little bit boring, but... Should have attacked in, obviously, with the Scoot Swarm. Sure. They get to draw a card, so it's worthwhile. This card is just so busted. Okay. Calix. And hopefully this starts yielding some good results. Both of those are fine. What I'm looking for now is the Cathar's Crusade because of Scurry-Oak. That's what I'm going to be saying going forward. I want, unfortunately. Oh! Okay, good. I'm so glad they got rid of the March of the Multitudes because this card is so much more fun. I guess they can do that, can't they? And Tutors, come on. Don't be playing Tutors. Boring. Alright. Well, go and find Enchantress's Presence probably is the best one here. And I do have enough mana to cast both, so I'll be able to draw. Not really what I wanted to see. That's okay. Kind of thinking next turn if... Maybe I gotta go after the Sorin with the Lair of the Hydra.
You dare defy the gods?
Uh-oh. The opponent, G-Fresh, has had so much removal for my enchantments. It's a little unbelievable. And more tutors. Come on, no, don't do tutors. It's boring. It's basically cheating, right? Sigarda's Splendor. Okay. Well, still hope. That is not exactly what I want. Okay. I'll get this, I suppose. And I probably have to kill something with the Lair of the Hydra. Oh, that's good. Okay. It's fine. So I can turn this on. Yeah, okay. I know what I'm doing. So we want to make this X2. Go after Kaya. And then I can Banishing Light their Bloodlord. Is it worth doing? It's kind of... the Bloodlord's kind of annoying, but it's not really doing too much.
That's it. I quit.
But if I do this, I get double draw. Although I could just take the Aerialist. Maybe the Aerialist is the better hit, and then that keeps my Calix alive. Get to double draw here. Heroic Intervention will be good for future turns. Okay. Well, these games are turning into real games. So one thing I have noticed with this deck, it tends to grind, and that creates a little bit more of an enjoyable experience than just getting blown out one way or another.
Cease your meddling.
Sure.
Time for a drink.
Solemnity is a huge problem. I will be able to get rid of it with the Calix going forward at some point, but
Look skyward and receive the gifts of the gods.
maybe I just have to hit... No, I want to draw a card. Okay. 2 cards. Sun's Grace is always good. I think I want to go after Sorin. Make it a little bit harder for future turns. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't kill Sorin. So is it better to just go out with the Archon maybe then? No. We'll do this. That stops them from reanimating something with the Sorin.
You're working up my appetite.
Smothering Tides, okay. I prefer they stop doing that. Crux of Fate, that's fine though. Better they do it now than later on. Decline. I don't care about them getting a little bit more mana. They already have so much. Kind of good to put all those cards to the bottom, honestly. Is it just going to be killing Sorin and then Amiria's Call? Maybe. First things first, I want to kill Sorin. It's getting annoying. I want them to use their mana to have to recast it. Which is not really going to be a big deal for them, but still a thing. And then if I put up the the Archon of Sun's Grace, I still hold up the Heroic Intervention if some disaster happens. I count Resplendent Angel as a pretty disastrous card. And Veto Thorin following it up as a further disaster. Okay, is there some combo here? Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. This creature deals 1 damage to target planeswalker or player. It deals 2 if it's a wizard. It's not. And then it doesn't have lifelink, but it can gain lifelink. Yeah. I think it might loop, actually. Getting unlucky. A lot of dead cards off the top. Not really liking that. Yeah, I think it's just Sun's Grace, or Amiria's Call, rather. And not a whole lot I can do. I still don't understand. Is Veto Thorn going to kill me? Am I going to need to Heroic Intervention to make sure it doesn't even give me Hexproof? Okay. Yeah, this is bad. Possibly I should have used Calix to get the Solemnity off the field right then and there.
I did not start this fight, but I will finish it. What a mess I made.
Because Calix is probably going to die here. Although they didn't pump... Oh, they still have enough mana to pump the Resplendent Angel. But they pass. Okay.
You are reckless with your
Deck and Stone is not the worst. So do I use Declaration in Stone to hit Veto? Or do I go after the Resplendent Angel and then... Yeah, maybe it's Resplendent Angel, then I kill Sorin. I don't know. I feel like I have no idea what's going on. This game is getting far too complicated for me. Come on, find me an enchantment. Oh, brutal. Brutal, brutal.
my path.
Don't tell me they have some removal. Okay. They're going to be able to cast Sorin out. No problem. It's not an issue for them. Okay. I feel like I put a lot of bad cards to the bottom of my library. I feel like I should be heading for something pretty cool pretty soon. Do I care enough to save my Banishing Light here? They do get this Bloodthirsty Aerialist back, which is a pretty big threat. But it's probably not the worst. I really want to save the Heroic Intervention for something that's a lot worse. I don't like that their Sigarda's Splendor is actually resulting in them drawing a lot more cards than me. I was really hoping to find some of my engines, and this Enchantress's Presence hasn't really resulted in too many card draws simply because of how poorly Calix has been performing. Okay. Give me an enchantment off the top, please. Also, it's a little ridiculous. Forsake the Worldly. This is a card, I have a friend who absolutely adores this card and says that it should be in every deck that he makes. And I tend to agree. A little bit of a non-bow for the Bloodthirsty Aerialist for the opponent, but it is still keeping my Calix under control. Wow. Come on, deck. Don't be like this. There's the Crusade. However, there's still a huge problem. I cannot Scurry Oak Crusade because of Solemnity. And I have to get Solemnity off the field, but I can't do it unless Calix is off the field. So do I just send... Maybe I send everything at Sorin. Not the Sun's Grace, and hope that they kill my Calix and that I can recast it afterwards. Kind of thinking that might be the way I have to go about things. Is just letting Calix die and then getting the Solemnity off the field. But I can't... Oh, they know about the Cathar's Crusade, so I was going to think I shouldn't put it out too hastily. Double block, interesting. But they know about it, so I may as well use my mana and get it out on the field now. I will pay for this Smothering Tides because I'm not casting anything else this turn. already cast a thing. But they're not going to be able to kill my Calix. They're never going to be able to kill Calix. They're just going to keep Calix at like 2, which is ingenious.
Help me.
Think of the damage you are causing.
1 is the worst. Although maybe they'll be incentivized to kill him next turn. I have so much mana, I may as well start paying.
Look skyward.
Elspeth solves my problem. Decline. I don't care. Okay, things are gonna get fun. Although they're gonna gain a ton of life from. Okay, so there's a new problem that I didn't consider. Oh no, Elspeth doesn't work. No, I hate Solemnity. I hate it so much. Okay. It's fine. I think it's fine. Although I am at 12 life, so I do have to be conscious of that. Especially with that. Okay. I feel like such an idiot with Elspeth's Conqueror's Death. It always gets me when you can't put the lore counters on it. That's fine. It's fine. It's super fine, in fact. Kill Calix, please. No, not me. Do they have a way of killing me? They're gonna... They know that Calix removing those things is a big problem.
Help me.
Time for a drink.
So clever keeping him at 1. Okay, I want to use this cast out on something. And I'm guessing it's gonna be... Is it the Solemnity? See, the Authority of the Consuls is also a big problem. I will pay. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Let's get rid of Veto. This I actually didn't realize was going to happen. Huh. Okay. That's good news. Okay, let's find something that gets... Okay, 4 lands. 4 lands, cool.
Light our way.
So now it's Scurry Oak. And I don't think this really works for me. But I will be able to create a huge board. I still have the Heroic Intervention. So maybe? I don't know how big I should go. I'm actually really glad I don't have... Oh, it's so noisy. I don't have one of the token doublers because it would get really out of hand. Okay, I gotta turn down the audio. The audio is killing my ears. Oh, the sound. Actually, I'm just gonna mute the game sound because it's brutal. It must be brutal to hear it as well. Okay. It's fine. I think this is gonna be fine. How many do I go? Let's end there. I think that'll be fine. Okay. We'll do this. We'll do this. Now I think I can bring the sound back. How much mana? Autopay. Ow, I forgot. It tricked me. Okay. I want to give my Pegasus lifelink. Okay. So that I will feel a little bit more comfortable attacking. Let's get Sorin off the field. Why not? Sorin's annoying. Okay. Gain just a wee bit of life. I'll put it on one squirrel. Okay. I wonder if they have a board wipe for it. Don't you love 2-card combos? Always fun. Scurry Oak, Cathar's Crusade. Famished Paladin. Okay. Okay. I don't think I'm worried about either of these 2 cards. Presumably fine. This game is also taking forever. This might be one of my shortest Brawl videos because I do want to show this. I think it was fun. I don't think my commentary has been very good. I've been kind of focused on trying to deal with the weird things that have been happening in this game. And I'm a little bit out of it today. I had a nice sleep today. It is Sunday. I slept like 3 extra hours. Thought, okay, sleep in a little bit, and then I'll come and I'll do a couple of videos, and I should be nice and fresh. But it turns out sleeping 3 or 4 extra hours, it might have been actually 4 extra hours than what I normally sleep, actually put me off a little bit. So as the opponent, oh, don't end it like the, don't rope me. That's what's happening, right? The opponent is actually going to rope me. Fun. So, how's everybody having? How are you enjoying your weekend? I don't know what I'm saying. How's everything going for you? I had a pretty good weekend. Yesterday, I went and saw Spider-Man: No Way Home. Finally, I would love to hear what some people think. Spoiler-free things. If you have some thoughts about that movie in the comments, I enjoyed a lot of it, but I will say that it was a little bit weaker than what I would normally expect from a Marvel movie, unfortunately. But still, I did enjoy most of it. What else? Yeah, watched a German vampire movie, Blood in the Sky, Red Blood Sky, something like that. It was all right too. I just watched that on Netflix last night before going to bed. Interesting to see. A little bit different take on vampires. It wasn't really. It was a very typical movie. Dominic Purcello was in it, though, which I thought was really interesting because he played Dracula in Blade 3, I think, or Blade 2. I can't remember exactly, but he almost became a vampire again. A little bit of a spoiler. I wouldn't necessarily recommend Blood Red Sky to anybody who's watching or listening to me ramble on while G-Fresh is roping me in the coolest of cool fashions. I guess I gotta send hearts now. Oh, my emotes are gone. No hearts. Wow. Imagine having that kind of mentality where you have a pretty cool back and forth game for almost 30 minutes, and then your opponent does the stupid crazy thing, and you don't have the answer to it, and your response is Alt F4 or to rope. That's the maturity level of a lot of Magic players on Arena, unfortunately. It's a really sad reality. But G-Fresh, GG. Sorry you had to end the game in that fashion. I'm really glad I got to do the Squirrels Cathar Crusade thing. Let's do 1 or 2 more games. Next one, up against a discard deck, sacrifice deck with Tegrid. Cool. Sketchy hand again. A little bit of removal to start, and the Smothering Tides would be awesome to get down on turn 4, but I don't really feel comfortable with this one, so I will throw it away. Yeah, this looks a little bit better. Okay, lead on this. Probably going to go out with the Wolf Willowhaven next turn. Although, maybe the Starfield Mystic is better to get on the field. Yeah, we'll go with this. Ramp it up. Try to get into another Cathars Crusade situation. So, unfortunately, the mana is not really working out the way I want it to, with only a single white source. I would have loved to have gotten Sigarda's Splendor onto the field. So this thing, at the beginning of each end step, if an opponent discard a card... Okay, so it's not too bad. They are going to start making me discard things soon, though. So let's get the Starfield Mystic onto the field, I think, now. So heavy on the white, and having 3 green sources is not going to be very cool. Kind of expecting hand disruption now. Hypnotic Spectre, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card at random. Okay, that's neat. Neat in the sense that it's not neat. So, I think the Cathars Crusade is actually the more valuable card to get onto the field. I am going to have to discard something randomly at some point when this Spectre hits me, but I really don't want to get rid of this, so I think just it's safer on the field. Against Mono Black, they're not going to have a ton of ways of making me get rid of this card. Reveal an artifact or creature. So they get rid of my Anointer Priest, which is okay because I can Embalm it next turn, and that'll actually trigger the Cathars Crusade. And they get rid of both of my enchantments. Okay. Nothing to discard. Alright. Make a plant. Make a bigger plant. And now Calix onto the field, or... If I put Calix onto the field, I can get rid of the Hypnotic Spectre. And I don't really hate that. Although I am going to be incentivizing them to maybe get rid of my Cathars Crusade now. Let's start getting in with this. Sure. I didn't really want to go search for a card with the +1 with Calix because they were most likely going to make me discard it. And... then it, you know, doesn't do anything. Okay. It's not the worst situation. Okay. These are all pretty cool. Okay. So any enchantments that I can find now are going to make 5/5s, and they're just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Find me an enchantment. Whew, sketchy. Really sketchy. I should have done this in a different order. I missed a little bit of life gain, but now I get to start swatting them with a 3/5 Gilded Goose. Who doesn't love doing that? Can you imagine getting hit in the face with that wing? Something I probably talked about already. I guess I sacrificed that. They can kill my Calix now. Yeah. It's okay. Gonna be a little... Well, maybe I just put out Calix and then I exile Tegrid. Put her under the sigil. Search your library for a card, put it in your hand. Alright, what shenanigans are they gonna go find? Wonder, they could go get... They could destroy an artifact with Feed the Swarm if they wanted to go get that. But both of these artifacts would be pretty costly to use like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. So I can play Heliod, and it will come in as a creature, buffing up everything. Nice. And I may as well gain a little bit of life since I'm not doing anything else with my mana this turn. Down to 5. Now they have a lot of work to do. Liliana is pretty good. Makes me sacrifice my 2 angels. I don't want to sacrifice real creatures because they would get them back. And Tegrid is donezo. That was a lot faster. 6 minutes? That's a lot better than 27 minutes into a rope. One more. All right, last one. Unfortunately, I actually just had a game against Grixis. Maybe I'll put like a little window of it popping up here. It was a really sweet game, and it had a lot of back and forth, and I ended up winning with a hoplite, giant hoplite, hit the field, made a whole bunch of angels that were like 11/11s, and the opponent just didn't have an answer for it. They ended up scooping up. It was a very cool back and forth game, but unfortunately, my camera decided that it was about time for it to start stuttering up, and that's what it kind of does after a little while. I guess maybe it overheats. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but the stream gets very, very, very choppy. Is what it is. All right. Do I want to go out with the Hollowed Hunting or Garruk? I think probably Garruk. Make a 3/3. It's a better threat than the Haunted. The Hunting, it's not really going to do too much because I need enchantments. Although I could have cast the Felidar Retreat next turn. I'm not sure. I like having Garruk on the field. It's a bigger threat for them to deal with. Pretty good. Nice clean answer to Garruk. I should probably be playing Roiling Regrowth in a lot more of my decks. It's one of those cards that I think I don't really pay too much attention to. And possibly should. Alright, so I guess it's going to be Felidar Retreat. Hit the landfall. Make a 2/2. Plus up the 2/2. Does nothing, but it's fine. And they have a Nissa. So I can go after the Nissa, though, this turn, unless they have a blocker.
You are my enemy.
Okay. So they turn this swamp into a 3/3, but I'm going to turn... Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking. Of course it's going to have haste, because why wouldn't it have haste? So, is it the Tendershoot Dryad? I think it might be. And then hopefully they can't answer the Tendershoot Dryad, and I can just start making a whole bunch of 1/1s. And eventually City's Blessing, they become 3/3s. I'm not too far off of that City's Blessing. This is a card that is pretty neat for like a reanimation style Golgari deck, I think. Yeah. Don't see this Nissa very often. I think it was an underappreciated Nissa because Nissa Who Shakes the Earth was around, or Shakes the World, whatever it's called. Broken card. So Ancient Green Warden's pretty good. It might be a decent target for this Declaration in Stone because playing cards from the graveyard. Oh, it is Nissa. She does like a little rattling sound. No block. Ancient Green Warden being able to cast lands from the graveyard is strong. So let's do that. Let's remove the Green Warden. We'll remove Nissa from the field as well. Conveniently enough, 7 damage. That seems pretty clean to me. And I kind of want to put out the Sterling Grove, but I also want to save it for the Hollowed Hunting. So maybe I just jam the Anointer Priest. Why not? Start gaining a little bit of life every turn when the Dryad makes a 1/1. It's a small thing. And then if I can find a land for the Felidar Retreat to be able to put 1/1/1 on everything, that'll be a pretty good turn. Elder Gargaroth, sweet card, but not going to do too well against a wide board. Then again, the fact that it has its ability on block or attack always tilts me a little bit. Scoot Swarm. Scoot Swarm not really good enough right now. So I think it's probably just Calix. Really like to find a couple more lands, please. Elspeth Conquers Death is an okay card for next turn. I'm going to hold back. I'm going to make it a little bit hard for the Elder Gargaroth to attack. If they want to attack in, I'll happily put a pretty big board in front of it. I do have to consider that they might have removal for the Tendershoot Dryad, though, and if I lose that buff, the +2/+2 buff, it would be a pretty miserable thing. Hornet Queen complicates things very much so. But I'm glad they put it out pre-combat, because now they're stuck to one land, and that makes it a little bit easier for me to throw things underneath the Gargaroth if they go. Yeah, we'll put 4 underneath it. Sure. Found a land. I have a lot of options. So does this give, when Hornet Queen enters the battlefield, create 4/1/1 insects with... Okay, so they just have flying and death touch, of course. So I don't have a ton of mana. I have to be a little bit careful. I wouldn't hate getting rid of the Hornet Queen, but at the same time, you know what, just plussing it's going to be good enough. Curse of Silence, sure. Let's +1 everything. Go to combat. Oh, I shouldn't have gone to combat. I think I wanted to put Elspeth Conquers Death out on the field first. Because I want to hit the Hornet Queen with that. It's fine to send some of these in, right? Yeah, why not? They all have Vigilance. If they want to put the 1/1s underneath these 4/4s, yeah, they're going to trade, but it's okay. Tendershoot Dryad's still making things. Okay. That's actually a better situation than I think I could have hoped for. And then I can do this. Yeah, we'll hit the Nissa. I was kind of thinking that maybe I should put out the Hollowed Haunting and then throw out the Curse of Silence, but I think I value the Elspeth Conquers Death a little bit more. They have that for my poor Dryad. Okay, okay. That's rough. Gonti. Cool. Another really awesome card that I think is a little bit underappreciated. I feel like I see this a lot more when I used to play EDH, but it might have just been my play group, of course, right? But yeah, Gonti's awesome. Wonder what they got. Okay. +1 Calix. Miss on that. Yikes. But I can do this. And I can do this. Start making spirits that might eventually get pretty big. They're equal to the number of spirits I control. Yeah, this thing's kind of neat. I'm a little... Hollowed Haunting is one of those cards that I'm also a little bit lukewarm on. Then again, if I have enough enchantments, that first line of text I think might be more important than the second line of text. Getting flying and vigilance on all of my creatures with 7 enchantments is pretty rad. I have 6 currently. No, I guess it's enchantments only, right? I only have 5, and I'm going to be losing 1. Calix getting ready for the -7. However, the -7 is not really doing anything whatsoever, so kind of irrelevant. By kind of, I mean entirely irrelevant. They get a Gargaroth back with the Timeless Witness, so that thing is going to be annoying a few turns. I get to, well, get my Tendershoot Triad back. I think no question about that. Old Tendy's back. Zendikar Royal is mostly fine, but I think I probably want to go out with the Sanctum Weaver first, so that way I have a lot of mana for future turns. So we'll do that. We'll do this. Still don't quite have 7. Getting close, though. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be 7. Ooh, Vorinclex. Okay. Vorinclex is a problem tapping down my mana, but with the Sanctum Weaver, it's going to provide me with a lot of mana. And I'm not too concerned with that, actually. Okay. Calix. Well, here's an interesting thing now. Let me double check something. Okay. So this says, as long as you control 7 or more enchantments, creatures you control have flying and vigilance. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought I had one more. I was thinking, oh yeah, 6. And then I could do this to get back the Elspeth Conquers Death. Now, it's not a huge thing, but I can get the Vorinclex. My creatures will have flying. And I think I don't hate that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I do have somewhere. There's another enchantment somewhere. I don't know where it is. Nice. That would have made... it might have been lethal. Was it lethal? Because this would have made these 4 4s. So 4, 8, 12, 14, 17, 20. It would have been 27 damage. That's awesome. What a cool win. I love this deck. This deck's awesome. Wrap up. So over the last week, I've been messing around with a whole bunch of Brawl decks, and I think this is the deck that I put together that has actually been the most successful, and it's not really too surprising. This deck is playing a ton of powerful cards. You know, things like Mirari's Wake. This card by itself, it gets on the field. Doubling your mana is just absolutely busted. Everybody knows that. This thing is insane. Of course, a lot of the other 5 CMC enchantments are really powerful. Things like Sigil, got to see it kind of perform a little bit. Cathar's Crusade, obviously with the combination of Scurry Oak, things get out of control very quickly. So there are a lot of very powerful cards in this deck. The Planeswalkers with Vorinclex, obviously powerful. Didn't get to do it, but you know it's good. Fast mana with the Sanctum Weaver. Yeah. I love it. It's a whole lot of fun. It might be considered a little bit lame, but we aren't playing things like the 9 lives Solemnity combo. Obviously, Solemnity is a no-no for this deck. We want to have our +1/+1 counters going on Scurry Oak, for example, or an Army of Squirrels. So I don't want to put that in this deck, and I absolutely hate that card. So not for me. Still, I think the current build of the deck is a whole lot of fun. It's a blast to play. I've been having so much fun with it. A lot of the opponents don't seem to scoop too quickly when I play this deck. Obviously, they start to see some of these powerful enchantments hit the field, and that might be the case. But for the most part, I find I'm actually getting pretty good games out of this deck. So I highly recommend trying it out if you are into Selesnya enchantments. Anyways, that's it for this one. As usual, please, recommendations for the deck. If you have any ideas or any cards that I'm missing in this deck, please let me know. Otherwise, keep the Brawl Commander recommendations also coming in. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.